Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Tom here, T&BH Gaming. Guys, it's good to be back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Haven't put out any videos in a while. I had a really bad spell there, 3.5 months down with back problems, and so I really didn't do a whole lot of nothing. And then started back to work in the first part of March and have been 10 hours a day, sometimes 6 days a week since then. But I'm glad to be back and glad to bring you another video. It's been a long time. Lots happened on Railroads Online, which is where we're at today. Since then, I think the last video I did was a February update video. Go check my playlists if you want to see that. They had an update in March that I did not do a video on. We'll go over a little bit of that today, and then they just recently had an update here in the first part of June here, called the map Spline update. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then we're going to start a new playthrough. I figured we have 3 new maps now, which we'll go over in these updates, and each map has its own unique qualities, I guess you could say. And so instead of trying to cram all these industries, because there's some very new industries that came with these updates, so instead of trying to cram all these industries on one map, I think we're going to do a playthrough where we will go from map to map to map, depending on what industries we need to go to, and we'll try to make it more interesting where I have to go to one map to pick something up and bring it back to another map to drop it off. It's going to be challenging and exciting, but we'll see what we can do. I'll bring you guys along with me, and you guys can leave comments on if you think which areas of maps you think certain indies should go to. We'll build them as we go. So without further ado, let's first get into the March update. This will probably be a rather long video, guys, because I do have to go through 2 updates, and then I do want to do a little bit of gameplay. So start off with the I don't want to do that. We start off and see Betsy here, as usual. Pine Valley, because that's where we're at. Pine Valley gets Betsy. So let's do this right quick and jump so I can get off screen here. And we're going to flop over to that's the screen I want right there. Okay, so as you can see, Railroads Online, the March update out now on the beta branch. Okay. Hello everyone, it's time again to make some improvements to the game and give you new content to play with. The March update is now on the beta branch, and I believe this came out on the 25th, 25th of March. This update mainly focuses on the new D and RG Class 47. So we got a new locomotive there in March, the Class 47. It's another 10-wheeler. The new driving UI and more content additions and quality of life improvements. Let's get into the details. So there were some quality of life improvements, and of course they changed the driving UI. So we'll get into this right now. This one here I was kind of interested in. I played with it a little bit. I'm still unsure what I think about it, but it sounds interesting. It sounds good. It's a new track laying tool called theodolites, and I hope I said that right. If I didn't, somebody in the comments will let me know, I'm sure. It's if you have, if you're struggling laying your track and stuff like that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys can read it. I got it up there. You can take a screenshot of it and read it if you want. But more or less, you lay one down, and then you go down where your next part of your track's going to be. How far away you want to go, it doesn't matter. but you go to where you're going to lay the next segment in the next segment of your track, and you can lay another one down. But before you even lay it down, it will show you the gradient between the two. So and it also gives you arrows and shows you the direction that they're going. It's not a bad little track laying tool, if you will. That especially on these high mountains, I think it'd be a good tool to use when laying track from like the coal mine or the iron mine or someplace up there where you're up in the mountains and you have to go down these steep grades, you know. But a lot of people like to keep their track at 1%, 1.5%, no more than 2%. A lot of people won't lay track more than 2%. I know quite a few. I've watched videos of content creators that just don't like track more than 2%. I really don't care for track more than 2%, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get it laid down. So, but this tool gives you a good idea how steep your gradient is going to be. If you want to keep your track on the ground, you may have to put it up on a bridge if you don't want that steep gradient. So, but it's called a theodolite, and I believe you can bring it up by clicking the middle mouse button, and I'll show you in game here in a little bit. If you click the middle mouse button, it gives you a little wheel to choose from different, a lot of different. That's something else that's new in the game. You get a little wheel that you can choose. Like, I think you can choose this. You can choose destruction. So how do you want to delete your track or delete a building or something like that? You can choose that. You can choose the saw. Instead of having to go to G key to select all these, you can do it just by pushing down on the middle mouse button. So that's quite a quality of life option, I believe. The next thing is, let's go flying with the new flight option. So in here you can go down a little bit. Giving away the next one, which was also the driving UI, but I've already talked about it. This one, whenever you select a spline to lay, like track, or even if you select re-rail to re-rail an engine, you can re-rail anything anywhere now. You don't have to be close to it. You can pick something up, click re-rail, and then go flying around the map and re-rail it on any piece of track you want. So like as soon as you click the re-rail or you click a piece of track, it gives you the option to fly up into the air, which is nice because then you can get an overview look down at where you kind of want to lay your track. It helps you get a bird's eye view, so to speak, of how you want your track laid. So this is a great feature too, I believe, another quality of life feature that is going to make track laying and much easier and more enjoyable. Can't speak this morning, guys. The next thing we're going to look at is replacing the new placeholder with the new driving UI. So they got rid of the other driving UI they had over here that was, I hated that one. And this is what the new driving UI looks like. And it has, it has the miles per hour, and it shows your water temperature and your boiler and your firebox temperature. In the big can't remember what you call it, but in a big circle there you can see the miles per hour and stuff. And then in the center down there in the bottom is your bell. And then just off the left of that on the bottom you can see your that is your I'll show you when we get into the game. I'm trying to remember what that is. I think that is your it's either your horn or your brake or something. But anyway, and then there's a couple more gauges over there. That's what the word I was looking for before, gauge. It shows your boiler temperature and your boiler pressure and fire bucket pressure, I think. And then that last little switch over there on the far left is your cylinder cocks. So, and then over here on the left, of course, you have your reverser and your accelerator and your brakes. And up top, you have your whistle on the top right-hand corner up here. So that's the new driving UI. I like it a lot better. I believe they're going to even improve that even more. If I remember seeing something about it in a future update coming up. So we'll see. But that's your new driving UI, and then here is the new Class 47. Like I said, it's another 10-wheeler. It's a 460. It ran up until, what they say, up until the middle of about 1924. It was reclassified in 1924. It's a T12, and there's still some, and they ran up until the mid 20th century, and there's still one in operation today. It says in Antonito, Colorado. It's a T168, and there's a T169 that is on display in Alamosa, Colorado. It's sitting next to City Hall in Alamosa, Colorado. So, but that is the Class 47, and it's 9,628 pounds of tractive effort. So it took over for the Class 45 and a half, which had says insufficient streaming capabilities. So, but has 8 different headlights and 4 different paint schemes and 9 different smokestacks. So, and then another quality of life that everybody's been asking for, and they finally brought it out in March. And I'm sorry if I'm late, guys, and you guys know most of this already. This is for the people who didn't know, who, like me, have been away from the game for quite a while. They have Pine Valley Engine House, and they call it Pine Valley Engine House because that's when most people started asking for it, apparently, I would assume. But it has 4 engine stalls with automatic lights that come on at night, and an inspection pit you can climb under, and as soon as you climb into the inspection pit, your engine automatically becomes refueled and full of water. So it replenishes the fuel and water as soon as you climb into the pit. And then with the bigger roundhouse, they have made a bigger turntable that will fit even the largest locomotive, the D&RG Class 125. So they needed a bigger roundhouse for the biggest locomotive in the game so far. So that's why they give us a bigger roundhouse to go with this, or a bigger turntable to go with this roundhouse. So, but I haven't really played with it yet. I haven't put one in any of my games yet. We're going to put one in this new playthrough. But I did see a content creator, a YouTube creator, that had one in their game, and they had a complete circle of these things all the way around with just a little opening where one piece of track came in to the turntable, and then the turntable went around, and there was just like, I think it was like 12 of these. They had like 3 of these together, all the way around, and it was a pretty interesting looking build. It might have been more than that. It might have been 16. Like I say, there was a little bit of, like right here, there would have been a piece of track coming right here, and then the roundhouse would have went all the way back around and come to right here and just left that little opening for the piece of track to go through. And I thought that looked pretty nifty. We may try to do something like that in this game. I would like to see if I could and get it done. They said it was challenging, but it's doable. So, but yeah, everybody was waiting for the roundhouses, so there they are. And the next thing they added in March was the perfect couple. So we got the knuckle couples now. So, and you just back into one, it couples automatically, boom, you take off and go. The only time you have to mess with it is when you uncouple it. Which I know a lot of people were iffy about whether they wanted them or whether they didn't want them. There is a option in the game in the settings menu where you can turn that off. So if you don't like the knuckle couples and you like the old style, then you can go back to it just by changing that in the settings menu and go back to the old couples. But I like it, especially if you're single player. If you're single player, you know, this is probably a must-have, because otherwise you're in and out. It's just too much for one person. So multiplayer maybe not so bad. You could use the old style, but single player you definitely probably be better off with the knuckle couples. So and then snow on the tracks, guys. We have another snow removal. We got the snow plow earlier, and now we have the snow removal cookie. Well, it's actually a rotary snow plow, the RGS #2 rotary snow plow, but it's made by Cookie Locomotives in, I believe, 1890. Where did I see that? Yeah, in 1890. Cookie Locomotive works in 1890. It's equipped with a rotary blade powered by a steam engine, scooping snow as never before been powerful in Railroads Online than now with the RGS #2 rotary snow plow. Although it's huge in size, it is not self-propelled and requires an engine to move it. So you have to put an engine behind it to push it. So it's it comes in 4 different paint schemes, 8 different headlights, and 2 different smokestacks. And but yeah, so the winter update was in February. And that came with a map that has snow in it, and this is your snow removal if you don't want to use just the old snow plow. So yeah, that was interesting too. I liked it a lot. I haven't used one yet, but and then they did the went back to the 1Password for multiplayer. So I know that at one time, I think they had 1Password before, and then they went to 2 passwords. You needed 2 passwords to secure your server. It's a bit confusing. 1Password for the server, and then 1Password for players to join, I think it was. But yeah, it was just aggravating. So now they're back to the 1Password to secure the server. So that was good. And then, of course, watch the devlogs. New stuff coming out for more historical backgrounds, explanations on further visual insights. You're welcome to watch the devlog from 2 days ago. So the devlog is on Steam, guys. This is where I'm getting all this information from. You can see this is my Steam account. So yeah, I definitely watch the devlogs and read over this, and it'll give you more. So that was the March update. Now, just recently, we have had the Maps and Spline update. So, the Maps and Spline update has brought a lot to the table. Let's go back here, and then we'll go to, because that was just where they talked about the Maps and Spline update. So now it's on the beta branch. It's also on the main branch now. So this is the Maps and Spline update. So it's now available on the beta branch, but like I said, it's also on the main branch already. So, and this is the new info pack maxi map. So with the new map, guys, all your industries are They have little icons for all your industries, and of course they're over here, and you can select these to filter out whatever you don't want on the map. It shows the switches, it shows crossovers and bumpers and turntables and facilities and vehicles and players and topological info. It even shows your theodolites that you have set down. So a lot of information on the new map. So much information that, well, let's get into it. Here it is. Get better orientation with the mighty mini map. So here you get the mini map, and you can see the switches and your turntable and all that stuff, and you can see your trains right here. Guys, you can toggle the switches now from this map. From the main map, you can toggle the switches. It's guys, it's what we've been looking for, guys. You know, everybody used the what they call the Railroads Online Extended to show the so you can toggle switches and stuff like that. Now you still can't control cranes and stuff like that, but at least you can toggle switches from the mini map, and so it makes it a lot easier, especially like I said, you're doing a single player. This is big news. This is a great quality of life update. You can zoom in 5 levels and flip switches on the switch stand on the map. So that was big. And then of course there's a new mini map, and as you can see over here, well, you can't see it because I got that screen shut down, but you can see right here the mini map, and it's showing all the trains, and of course it shows all your industry icons and stuff like that. It even shows your telegraph offices and stuff like that. So anything you place on the map will show up on this mini map and on the big main map. And I believe you can even click the switches on the mini map. I found it a little rough because by the time you get where you can see that switch, either the train is in the way so you can't flip that switch, or by the time you see it, it's too late to flip that switch. So but you can flip the switches from the mini map. I've tried it. If you need help orientation, the mini map shows you all the different vehicles, tracks, buildings, and player icons that are close to you while displaying your geographical orientation. So up is north, or whichever way you're facing. So if you're facing north, then up will be north. If you're facing east, then up will be east. So I clicked on the wrong map. Let me get back over here. So, well, get back up there. So I want to get back up there. So there we go. So we're back in the right one. So next is the new spline. So placing splines has just become so smooth and easy. So now when you are in free mode, it's so smooth and easy to place a spline now, and it follows the terrain. So the spline will follow terrain, but be cautious that this can produce some very steep inclines, because it will follow terrain. It will follow right up a 10% grade. It'll just follow it all the way up there and let you place it. So it's, but that's in free mode. You can still do, if you like more precise, you can still go to the, what we call circle mode, and then you can control, you know, the gradient and the degrees of the track. and how tight your turns are and stuff like that. So, but it does make it a lot, more interesting. And as you see, it says colored splines. So if the track is normal, you know, grade, it'll be green. If the spline is red, then it's not placeable in its current position. So it means you're either too high above the ground, your track is too high above the ground. So if you go to a place like you go across a little dip, I notice there's a lot of this when you go from, when you're trying to go from the sawmill down to the smelter in Pine Valley, through that little cut in that valley. There's quite a few dips there before you can cross that little gorge. There's quite a few dips there where the spline is, where the groundwork is pretty deep and pretty high. It won't let you place it. If you're on the number one groundwork and you go across that dip, it won't place it. It'll say, come up and it give you an error message saying that the spline is too high above the ground. So you'll have to choose the number 3 spline in order to the number 3, track and groundwork in order to cover that, to go through that dip, to cover up that dip. And it lets you know that, okay, well, maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe you need to put a little bridge work there or stone work or something. Or, like I say, you can choose number 3 and just have your groundwork be 6 feet tall. I don't like groundwork that high myself, but I always usually put a bridge or stone wall track through there. But it's your choice. But it's an option, and it's really cool how this does that. And with this also comes the ability to build parallel track. So here, and like I said, here's that little circle I talked about when you push the middle mouse button. It gives you the destruction, it gives you re-rail, it gives you cutting trees, it gives you your theodolites, and it also gives you the ability to lay parallel track. So what you can do is you click on that, and then you click on the piece of track that you want to copy, and it only does it a spline at a time. So however long that spline is how long your copy is going to be. But you can pick it, and then you just move it over, and it'll place it right down beside it, however far away you want it. You can leave the gap between them however much you want, but it will lay a piece of parallel track parallel to that track. And you can't use it on turntables. It works on all kinds of tracks, excluding turntables, and it even adjusts the track radius when the track with a curved gradient is copied. So if you copy a piece of curved track, when you pull it away, if you pull it away to the outside of that curved track, well, then the radius is going to change a little bit. So it'll adjust the radius so that the track stays the same length, which is great. So, and then if you go to the inside, of course, the radius is going to get smaller and tighter. So, but it'll adjust. So you got to be careful with that too, because sometimes, if you're copying a 30-degree curve that you've got laid down, and you copy it, and then you go to the inside of that to try to lay parallel track to that inside curve is going to be greater. It's going to be less than 30 degrees. So you're looking, you can get 25 or 20 degree rate. I don't even know if it lets you place it, but I haven't tried it. That's something we'll have to test. But it will let you place. It will adjust your radius according to your track length, so that the track length stays the same. So that's a great feature too. Makes laying parallel track just got 100 times easier, guys. And I've always liked to have parallel track in my worlds. I just hate having to figure out how to lay it. Crossovers were always, you could do 2 crossovers and then lay it parallel that way. But then when you do a switch, they don't match up to the crossovers. So it's just kind of weird. And I practice with this. So I go down a piece of my track and then I lay a switch out, and I lay another switch back the other way, and it gives me the distance between the two switches. And then I can lay a piece of track down and take that switch out, and then put my parallel track and attach it to where I laid that other piece of track at the end of that switch, and it'll lay it, and it'll attach to it. It'll attach to previous track that you've already got laid down next to it. So if you like you laid a straight piece of track and you did a parallel track next to it, and then you went up and you laid a curve, say a 100-degree curve, and then you copy that and you want to lay it, and then you go over it and it'll attach next to that other piece of parallel track. It'll attach right to it. If you get right close to it and just click it, it'll attach to it. So that's it's a nice feature. Easier to make parallel track a lot better. So here's them showing the parallel track, and you can see it lays it right beside it. And it'll lay the arrow showing the direction, but it'll lay that piece of parallel track right beside this piece of parallel track, and it will even lay this switch and that curve. It'll copy both of them too. So you could lay parallel track all the way around here and it's going to be exactly parallel to each other. It's a nice feature, guys. I really like it. I played with it quite a lot here. Just a few days ago, right after this came out. I was wanting to do one right after. I think this came out on the I want to say it came out on right at the 1st of June. Go up here and look at it. It came out on June 1st, right at the 1st of June. So it's here's the complete change log. The maxi map opened with the M key. Old map was replaced with the new one. The only problem with the old map, guys, and I should have brought this up at the beginning, is this is Aurora Falls. It's upside down. This used to be up here on the top. So I don't know if they're going to try to fix that, or maybe that's because this is north and that's the orientation. I don't know, but it's a little weird when you first start. You just got to get used to it. But this is the change log, and it's big, guys. So they added a maxi map, they added the mini map. Here's all the spline updates. This stuff tells you all about it. If you want to screenshot it or go to Steam and read it. Here's all the bug fixes they worked on. They did the operating brake causing fatal errors, and then of course the devlog. So you can go to the devlog and check it out, and you can go on Steam and check this out. So, but that's, guys, these are great quality of life stuff that comes on the map and spline update, which is out on Beta Branch, which I'll go right now and tell you it is also out on the main branch as of June 3rd. So this actually got, the map spline update actually came out on the 27th of May, and then June 3rd it went to the main branch. So yeah, it's great quality of life. So without further ado, let's get into all gameplay, and maybe we can show some of this double track or copying of the track. So you see we got Betsy here. We are in Pine Valley, and we start in Pine Valley because Pine Valley, let's go look at the map, and you can see, guys, here is the freight depot. Here is the starting area. Of course, there's the porter, there's the water tower, telegraph office, and my flat car. So that's it. That's all we got. But as you fan out, you can see there's the smelter, there's the sawmill, there's the logging camp, and it gives you guys, also gives you the industries goods out and goods in. So this is, logging camp only has goods out, 100 logs, 32 cordwood. So I had two things where you can pick up your logs and two places where you can pick up your cordwood. And each of them produces 100 and each of the cordwood produces 32. Now, if we go to the sawmill, you can see goods in and needs logs. That's all it needs. You take it logs and it gives you lumber and beams. You give it 100 logs, you get out 100 lumber and 100 beams. You go to the smelter, you can see it needs cordwood and coal or iron. That's iron. So if you give it 100 cordwood and 1,000 iron, you'll get out 100 rails and 100 iron beams. And then the oil field, of course, you need pipe, beams, wood beams, and tools, and it gives you oil. And then the ironworks, if you supply it with iron beams, coal, and lumber, it'll give you pipes and tools. And then the refinery, it needs goods, pipes, and lumber. And it's goods, that's oil. So it needs oil, pipes, and lumber. And it gives you oil barrels. And then of course, the coal mine, you need lumber beams and rails, and it gives you coal. And the ironworks, you need lumber beams and lumber, and it gives you iron. So that's, and like I say, you can toggle this. So we zoom in here, and we flip this switch to vehicles. It takes the vehicles off the map. If we flip tracks, well, then it takes the tracks off the map, and the switches and crossovers and bumpers and turntables. Of course, it's not going to take these tracks off the map because they are permanently there. We can't move them or delete them. And then if you do facilities, of course, it takes the facilities off. So you see it took the water tower and the telegraph office off of the map. And then of course industries. So if I zoom back out here, you see the industries. If you click that, it takes all the industries off the map. So you can filter this map to any way you want to, and there's all the industries. And that's why, guys, I say it's too hard to put all these industries on the same map. So we're going to use all three different maps. We're going to have Pine Valley, we're going to have Lake Valley, and we have Aurora Falls. Aurora Falls is actually, I believe, that was supposed to be Alaska, Aurora Falls, Alaska. So when we go from place to place, we'll just act like we're taking a train from Pine Valley to Lake Valley, or a train from Lake Valley to Aurora Falls. And when we get there, we'll do everything, you know. So I believe, so we're going to have the logging camp, the smelter, the sawmill. I believe the iron mine and the coal mine and the iron works will leave in Pine Valley, and the oil field. I don't know about these here. From the ironworks, the oil field, the refinery, we might change them around. We might take one of these and put it in one of the other maps, so that we have to go from place to place. So, like, okay, let's say the ironworks. Guys, you can leave comments down and let me know what you think about this, but I'm thinking taking the ironworks out of here and put it in Lake Valley, so that we have to take all this stuff from here that the ironworks needs over to Lake Valley to drop it off at the ironworks, if the ironworks is over there. And then we have to take anything that it needs from Pine Valley from there back to here. And we may do the same with the oil field and the refinery. We'll leave one of them here and take the other one over there. You know, we'll play as it goes. We'll you know, I'll let you guys leave stuff in the comments. You can let me know what you want to do. As well as, I think, the wheat farm and the cattle farm we will leave in Lake Valley, but the meat packing plant we may bring to either we may bring it to Pine Valley, so we have to go back and forth. So that it's not just all stuff being done on one map. And then the dredge, we may have the dredge. I'm thinking of putting the dredge on Lake Valley because there's water, there's a lot of water there, and that's where a dredge would be. Coal mine, definitely want to leave on Aurora Falls, but the stamp mill and the gold smelter, we may bring them to Lake Valley and leave and then bring the Railway Express Agency, where you sell all that stuff, to Pine Valley. So you have to go to Aurora Falls to get your gold, or Lake Valley to get your gold from the dredge, and then you can take it to the stamp mill or gold smelter, or we may leave the gold smelter in Aurora Falls even and bring the stamp mill to Pine Valley, or Lake Valley, I'm sorry, and then you have to go there, take it to there, and then when the stuff's done making everything from there, then you take it to the Railway Express Agency in Pine Valley to sell it. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll move these indices around, which makes figure out which makes more sense and which is easier or maybe not easier, because we do want to make it a little bit more difficult. And so we can play between all three maps. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be exciting, but we'll see how it goes as we go along. But I know I want to leave the logging camp and the smelter and the sawmill here in Pine Valley, and I may do a logging camp in Lake Valley and even a logging camp in Aurora Falls, because you would think there'd be a logging camp in all three. But if there's only a sawmill here in Pine Valley, all that stuff that over there and the logs from Lake Valley and Aurora Falls have to come back here to Pine Valley to be brought to the sawmill. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking about working things. But like I said, you can leave comments and let me know what you guys think. But I think we better get started here. So let's get Betsy fired up. She's probably as cold as ice. So, and I did notice that this changed this too. So right there, you can add fuel without opening the firebox. Some people like that, some people didn't. I found it to be better when you're in the train and it's moving and you need to add fuel. You just back up a little bit and you can add it without opening the box. Because especially in Betsy, you almost have to get down out of the train to open the box, or you have to squat. And I always hated the squat on this because it was like, it's a little better. Before you used to squat, you were squatting, you were all the way down facing it like you were laying down on the floor. But let's pick up 5 here, and we'll go ahead and open the hatch and squat down and add our fuel. We're at 100%. We'll close the hatch and we can enter the UI and we can watch it build up here. So see this gauge, guys, it gives us our water, which is full, our sand, which is full. Right here shows us the temperature of our water. Here shows us the temperature of the firebox, and this is our miles per hour meter, showing us how fast the train is going. Here's your bell. Still rings a little longer than I want to after you turn it off, but it is what it is. This was a sander. That's what I wasn't sure what this was when we were talking about. It's a sander. Put sand on the wheels, and of course this is your cylinder cocks, which aren't going to do anything right now because there is no steam being produced yet. We have to wait till our release valve pops off up here, and then we'll know. And then of course here on the left hand side, your reverser, your regulator, your brake, and up here no whistle because we have no steam. I'm assuming because this looks like it's pretty full, that it's full of water. We don't need any, so I won't need to pull up and do that. We will need to start making the track, and I prefer to use. Let's jump out of here real quick while she's warming up. Jump over here and let's take a look at the locomotive. So I prefer to use these little carts for the wood. The big ones only give us 6. These can carry 5, but their weight is only 2,425 pounds, where the big one, the weight is 8,300 pounds. So that's almost triple for one extra log on each car. It's much less weight for the Porter or any engine really to pull those little cars around, and you're not losing but one log. So I think I could pull 3 of those cars and get 15 logs to the weight of one of these cars. It's only going to be 6. That's my way of thinking. I may be wrong. You guys can leave something down in the comments if you think I'm wrong about that, but to me that's the math I'm doing. I mean, 2,400 3 times, you're what? You're like 7,200 pounds. This is 8,300 pounds to carry 6 logs. 2,400 pounds can carry 1,500, or 7,200 pounds can carry 15 logs. It's to me, it's a no-brainer. But so I prefer to use these smaller cars. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and buy a couple. We'll make it 1,001, and what do we want to name our railroad? Let's try right now. Let's try. Well, this is just going to be logging, so let's put. Pine Valley Logging Company. I think it only put Pine Valley Log on there. It did. So let's shorten it and let's go. I've got too many A's in Valley anyway. Pine Valley Logging Company. How's that? PV Logging Company. There we go. So we'll just call it Pine Valley Logging Company because this is what it's going to do. And I used to get all red like that, but I've kind of taken a liking to that color right there. So we'll do that. And I wish, you know, if the devs are listening, or anybody got it in good with the devs that might be listening, we need an option where we can select this and say I want 5 of them, instead of having to go in and redo this every time. So now I'm going to have to copy this, and I'm going to order one, and there's one. So now I got to go back in there again. I got to do this all over again. I understand that number won't change, but they could actually make it so if we make it 1001, and we order 5, that the numbers sequentially change on each car. I mean, I don't write code, guys. I'm not a game developer, but to me, I don't think that would be hard to do. I may be wrong, and of course, if I am, somebody will let me know. Let's go Control V and pick our color. I think it was 4. Yeah, and that's the wrong car. I do that a lot. There we go. There's number 2. And that's what I was talking about the mini map, guys. So see, now I'm looking north, which really, to me, that's facing the smelter, or the refinery. And to me, before when we played, that would, to me, that was south. North was the sawmill, which is that way, which is south. So I don't, maybe we had it wrong all along, the way we were thinking, but it is what it is. So we got 2 of these now. Do we have 2 of these now? Yeah, there it is. So we got 2 of these now. Let's grab a couple more. So next car, 1003. I'll do a control V. Get my color. And 4 cars now. Let's do it again. 104. Select the right car. Change the color. I wonder how many more we can get on here. Let's try one. So it's 1, 2. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably get 6. So let's go. $105. Find out the logging company. Change the car. Change the color. Real quick, let's look see how much money I got. I got $1,000 left still, so I can buy. Shoot, I buy a shit ton of them. But let's just do 6, and we got the big one 7, and then later on we'll get rid of the big one. But I don't want to get rid of it right now because hey, it's extra 6 logs. But let's go. We need to get one more. So what was that? 106. Find out a logging company. 4. Change cars. Order. There we go. So we got all 6. All right. We got all 6 of these cars lined up, which is good. Oh, another thing new, guys, that I don't know if they said in any of the dev logs or any of the change log notes, but when you order cars now, wherever you're at, they'll spawn behind your train. So if you're at the sawmill and you order new log cars, you don't have to come all the way back here to pick up your cars. They'll spawn right near you, behind you or behind your train, wherever there's a piece of track for them to spawn on. They'll spawn there instead of spawning here, the new cars. Engines the same way. Whatever you order that goes on a track will spawn on a piece of track that's closest to you. So that's another quality of life issue that I really liked. And I don't remember reading that anywhere. I just when I was playing around with this the other day, right after it first came out. As a matter of fact, I first started playing around with it. I think it was the 1st of March or 1st of June when I first checked out the update that I noticed it did that, and I was like, oh, that's great. So we got that done. So now let's. I don't really need it here, but I wanted to show it to you guys. This theodolites, so you can see that the eye is pointing that way, and you can connect it to the end of your track. See, it will link to the end of this track. So now it's going to give you the radiant of that track. And if I push this thing forward, and it's pointing, see the arrow pointing back at the other theodolite, and you can see the gradient, it's staying the same. Oh, it just dropped down. Well, actually it went up 3%, up 2%. So this one, if I was to lay a piece of track from there to here, it would be 2%. A 2% grade. Then if I turned it and went this way with it, 5, 8, 1.1, 1.3, 1.4. Look at the difference. So it's letting me know what the gradient would be from that last theodolite to this one. Would be a 0.1% grade. But you see how there, look at that, 83. So wherever you place these things from the last one, it'll show you. Let's see if I can go up here and show you something. I'll go over here and do this one. So from this one here, back to that last one, it's a 31. Right there, minus 12. And then you can also, like I said, you can go to this middle mouse where you hit that and demolish. And if you want to change what it's going to demolish, you see down on the bottom right there, it says rails. If I click T, groundwork, bridges, facilities, locomotives, props, all. Boom, it's gone. So we got rid of it. So you can, all that stuff can be done from that little wheel. I think that's great. I don't know where I did with that other theodolite. It's around here somewhere. I will find it. I wonder if I did this. I'll be able to find it better. Yep, there it is. So it shows you where they're at. And it shows you the difference. So this way, so back, so you see the arrow pointing on to the right on the one, not this one, but this one here. The arrow pointing to the right says 0.2%. So that's the grade going back to the other one, and minus 5% is the grade to this one that I haven't placed yet. Because you see this changes as I move it around. But the other one's not changing because that's set. So that is how those work. But so we don't need them right now. We're going to go, and I'm just going to lay a little bit of track here. We'll do a little track work right around the freight depot, and there was something I wanted to do. There was a facility that I was playing around with, thinking about setting up here. What was it? It was the meat packing plant? I want to put the Railway Express agency over there, I believe, next to the freight depot. And I want to put, I think it was a meat packing plant that I was going to put over here, because the cattle ranch and the wheat farm were going to be in, was this the one? Yeah, this was the one, because I was going to put it right there. I think I had it set up just about like that. Let's place that down there. because I want to show you something else, guys. And I think this was in the change log, and I don't know if I said anything about it. Let's get rid of this theodolite right here. But watch this, guys. I want to put a piece of track right here. I'm going to click right here. And if you look on the ground right there, you'll see a link. Linked. Linked. Come back. See how I'm flying? Look how I'm flying, guys. Fly. Woohoo! But you see the links? So the link on the ground, so that's track. So you can now place track in front of your industries. I'll give you an example. We will put the let's put the Railway Express building over here. So let's put it, let's turn it like this. Say I want to put it right there. I want to line it up so it's pretty even there. We need to just adjust the hair. Too much, I think. That was more like it right there. So if I line this up right like that, I need to lay some track right here. So let's put, but I want to get it close, you know how we always used to, I always used to take this and I would bring it over here. Hit the wrong button, guys. And I would bring it over here, you know, and I would kind of get it lined up, you know, next to the dock, and I would fiddle with how it turned, you know, the degrees, trying to get it so it's, you know, almost straight. But that's too much. Turn a little more. So there I'm straight, and then I would move it out. See, I moved out. Used to be able to just move it straight away from the dock, but you don't need to do that no more. All you have to do now is pick your track, and right there, click that link, run it up to the next one, link it in. You are perfect, you're a perfect distance from the dock. So they come with links. All industries come with links in front of the docks, so that you have a perfect, I might leave this railway yard right here. You might do that. I don't know. I don't like that being that low. Well, that door's fine, but this door is below the dock, so let's fix that. I don't like that. So let's go here. In our demolish button, we demolish that, and get rid of our track. So, and then we can bring that railway exchange back. I do want to turn it. That looks pretty good. Now I just need to get down here so I can see right to the back. So I can see where that starts to go downhill. Well, I could do it right there would be good. And just a little bit where the docks meet. See how that looks. That way that door's still able to get to it. The docks aren't really close, but they're good enough for me. I'll buy that for $1. And let's put our track back down here. Alright. So you see me there in freehand, right? So I always like to take the middle of my track. And one thing I don't like is how that turns. You see how that turns? So this meat packing plant needs to be a little bit closer this way. So let's see where we're at. We are right even with that. So we need to be a little bit further out. So let's get rid of the meat packing plant here, guys. Our industry's up. Put it on the meat packing plant again. And we can do this either way. Well, that's the way I had it before. But that's the way, or you could do it this way. And I would have to bring it all the way up there. The water tower's in the way. I think I liked it the other way. Because there's kind of a little area right in there where there's kind of a little area right in there where I wonder if that's going to be too far out. Let's see where we're at right there. Oh wow, it really didn't come out much at all. Any. Didn't come out any, guys. I can't really look at it that way, can I? It's gonna make it hard for me. They're gonna make it rough for me. I'm trying to get it so that dock is lined up with the end of this other dock. And it looks like I gotta. I'm such a hard time. All right, let's see what that looks like. Did it come out at all? No. Still didn't come out. I'm so used to using the G button. Well, let's see if our track looks any straighter. I don't think it's going to, but hey. Well, it's a hair bit straighter, but I still don't think. Keep doing that. Still don't think. We need to come out just a little bit more. So, all right. So let's. All right, we'll give it one more shot, guys. We can get it dialed in here. Alright, I fudged it a little more even when I didn't want to. You know, and it lined itself up with that dock again. I wonder if it's purposely lining itself up with that dock. Ah, went too far that time. And you see how that went uphill? That's a little incline right there because I had it on freehand mode. That's what I was talking about with the incline. You have to pay close attention when you're using freehand mode. It will Alright, we're going to call that one good. Whether it's good or not, it's going to be good. So instead of freehand mode this time, I need to go to so that's the freehand mode. I need to hit 5. You can also, when you're in freehand mode, guys, if you hit control, it'll go back to straight track. But and it will line up with the links. It will still line up with the links, but it will build straight track. But it's off again, so we went back to where we were at the beginning. But it is what it is. It's gonna stay there. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. So, but I always start this one out like this from Pine Valley. So I always do this. Let's go to straight track. I'm not real big on that freehand unless I need it. I would rather do this. That's not too high, but I'd rather do this. Start curving, so I want to do probably right there, right, and then we'll put in a 3-way switch right there, and we'll go off with a switch this way. This one will go off with a switch that way. And we will run this one. And another thing I want to show you. Okay, you see guys, we're in like the circle mode, so we're not in the freehand. You used to not be able to do this unless you were in the freehand mode. I can link to that track right there. Not being in freehand, I can link to that track. I think what I'm going to do, because I have OCD, I hate that track being unlinked like that. So I'm just going to, because it's not off very much, I'm going to bypass those 2 links. It should still work. And that way the track is straight. Because if I don't, my OCD is going to get the better of me. So we need to run this one all the way up to right about there. I wonder if I'll go like that. Will that line up? No. So we need to get rid of this. get rid of this. I think we just need to come out. Let's try 6. Try 6 meters. And then put in our switch. No. So it's not 6. So let's get that tree out of the way and drop the lights. So is it 10? Surely it's not 10. Surely it's not 10. We'll try 10 though. Stuck in the track. It's more than 10. Okay. Let's do it this way. So that's 10. Let's do 5. Make it 15. Is that pretty close? Is pretty close. You see it's got a link, guys, even though I'm not in circle mode, it'll link it. And I'm gonna live with that. That is fairly close. Close as I'm probably gonna get. I could tinker with it a little more and drop it back to 14.8 or something like that and probably get it lined up, but that is as close as I want to try to get it. Now we can make some more of these here, and make some storage yards for this plant. I don't want to go too far because we've got to come off of this back side with a rail too. And this will give you a good showing of what it looks like. So we're going to put a link right there. There's a link there. Where's that other link? Oh, that's it. Just the one, huh? Not one back there. Just one right here. All right. Just for that. Corned beef. All right. So then we're just going to run this. Take it into the building. And I'll get lined up again in the building here. There. And then I'm just going to grab this and okay, this is where I want to show you guys. Let's get rid of that tree and that tree and that tree. This tree, this tree, and this tree. And watch this, guys. So we're going to go here to parallel track. I'm going to click on that. See, it brought that track parallel. And I can go like that. And I can go parallel track again. I can click this one. And then I can just go over here and get it close to that, right about there, and it linked and lined up. So I have parallel track. Those two tracks are parallel to each other. Now, if I really wanted to get particular about it, I could go like this. Alright, and I'll go go like that. I'm not going to leave that there, so that's not going to matter right there. And then we'll come up here and go, nope, wrong one. Like that. Probably still the wrong one. That, yep. And then if I run this one, to here, I don't want to link it. Just trying to link, but I don't want to link. I just want to get close. So if I get close enough where I can see it like that, then we can delete this and delete that. Then I can do my parallel track. And I can line it up with this. Ah! Wrong key. Line it up with this. The best I can. Like that. Now see, I wasn't close enough. I didn't line it up correctly. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to destroy it. We're lined up. Now we're lined up. Then, just for shits and giggles, see how close we were. Pretty close. So now I can get rid of this and this. But now these are lined up a switch apart. So you see what I was getting at, guys? So what I did was so now if I put a switch in here anywhere, I know if I put another switch in, it's going to line up perfectly with this track. If I put a switch off of this one and another one back, it's going to line up perfectly off this track. So when I come off of here and I throw a switch that way, and then put another switch off this way, these two are going to line up perfect, which is what we'll end up doing. Because it's going to come in and I'll have to go, so let's see. Let's just go ahead and set it up now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here a little ways, probably about, say that far. And then I want to put a switch off this way. And that's the only thing I don't like about the new Spline, guys. You can't spin these things around. They won't spin around. So you just have to kind of guess that that's going to be right. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to come off this way and curve that way. So, and then if I put another switch in like that, wow, why didn't it line up? That should line up. That should have lined up perfectly, as a matter of fact. but it's not going to be another switch anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't wonder why that didn't line up right. It's because the other switch was the other way, maybe? Let's see, it's going to link. It'll link perfectly right there. So, but anyway, there we go. That's what I wanted anyway, so. Because I want, coming in this way, this to be the main, and this to be the siding to get your, stop and get your stuff off of. So that this is going to be my main. And then all the storage cars and stuff will be over here, so. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll go up. Ooh. Let's go up 20. And then we'll lay our switch off. This time it's going to be this one. That one. And then here, now you see how this is straight? But if I come over here and I click at the end of this track, it'll link it, even though I wasn't in circle mode. I love this new track, Spline. The Spline update, guys, it's freaking awesome. I think still a lot of bugs in this game. A lot of bugs still. Quit trying to switch the switch. Still a lot of bugs that got to be ironed out. You're nowhere near where they need to be, and I am not a. Don't like to compare the games because they're totally different. The Railroader is totally different game than Railroads Online. For one, you don't lay track in Railroad. The track's already laid. It's more about the operations, not about building an economy. So, to me, you know, Railroads Online's getting a lot better, but there's still a lot of bugs. But there's more quality of life stuff. They're listening to the players, so I think they're finally getting their stuff together here. But I love both games. I love Railroads Online. I love to play Railroader. Just, you know, each of them has their own thing. Okay, let's go there, and that should have attached this one to that automatically because it's the same distance. It's just a different switch, and it did, so that's good. But now this one's the wrong way, so I gotta turn this one. This one now needs to be this way. There you go. Alright. Now this, we need to go, and I'll show you. This should every time I try to go long distance like this, even though it's a lot of, it's about the same height, well, it's going to let me do it now. Sometimes it'll pop up and say that it's too far away from the ground, which is full malarkey, but there you go. And we tie in there. So now we're tied in there. Get rid of some of these trees. Get over that one. I like to get them even if they're not on the track, but if they're even close to the track, I like to take them out. Which I think in IRL, the railroad doesn't allow trees within, I want to say, I'd say 100 feet or even further. Maybe it's 500 feet. They don't allow a tree close enough to the track where it could fall on the track and cause issues. So I think all tracks are cleared away from, all trees are cleared away from the track at least 500 feet. Depending on, I guess depending on where you're at and how tall the trees are where you're at. So we'll put some, I'm just going to put these in there. I won't lay these tracks right now, but we'll put these. It's probably not necessary to put that one in there. So we'll put these little short tracks in there so we can have a place to store cars and stuff like that. And then of course we have this one. I wonder if this one, I don't think this one's lined up either. I think I had to come off of this one a good ways too to get lined up to this track. Oh, this one is too far away. Okay. So how does that work? Well, it's real close there, and the further you go down, the further away it gets. I don't understand that at all, but we're going to connect it right there. I need to do one off of here too, or a couple off of here. No, let's do this. Let's come off of here. This way, like that. And of course, that means this one has to be changed to that. But now we need to go see where this track's going to end up. We may run it into that. I believe it will. It's going to be pretty close to being. Yeah, we're just going to line it up with that. think this is going to have to change too. So this is going to have to be that's better. Yeah. And that way we can go like this. Nope. That. And then we'll go that. That. Put our track on the other side of this too. So if I went one more, like that, how's this gonna look? The only thing about the flying guys, as soon as you let's go to, see, we go right here, we go to re-rail. Let's go up here and take a look, guys, see what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. You're going to have all these run back toward there to park cars on. All those run back there to park store cars on. Over on this side we may have a couple siding tracks. Here I'm going to turn this way and head up here toward the sawmill, and then may have something over here in this little valley between this hill and that one, because that's a little hill right there. Don't know what we might put there yet. But we got a freight depot or railway agency, so that's where our gold is going to be sold, no matter whether it comes from Aurora or Lake Valley. It's going to come to be sold there after it goes through the stamp mill, which will be maybe one in Lake Valley and one in, let's look at the industries again. So we need the stamp mill and the smelter. So somewhere we have to take to smelt it, and then we take it to the stamp mill. So maybe the smelter's in Aurora and the stamp mill's in Lake Valley. Yeah, that might work. That way you have to take the gold. You get the gold from Aurora out of the gold mine. You take it to the smelter in Aurora. But if you get it out of the dredge, which is probably being Lake Valley, you still have to take it to Aurora to be smelted. Then you have to bring them both back from the smelter in Aurora to the stamp mill in Lake Valley, and then from the stamp mill in Lake Valley to Railway Express in Pine Valley. I like that. That seems like it might be an interesting way to go. Let's fall down, see if we can fall down on top of the station. Oh no, just missed it. All right. So what am I at, guys? We're at, what's our time? We're at almost 2 hours. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. We'll run a few more tracks here. I wanted to run that one that way. Do I want to do another one this way? No. Okay, so that's not going to be any good anyway, so let's just get rid of this and this. This is going to go straight through. Like that. And this one, I do want to run a couple of siding tracks off of that side, but I got to make this turn as well, so I want to make it as soon as possible, it looks like. So let's go like this, like that. Let's see what this looks like going over here to, oh, that's pretty close. That's pretty close, and maybe too sharp of a turn. I don't know. Well, anyway, so it's going to be the main branch going that way. So let's, these are going to be sidings off this way, and then this is going to be a main. We'll go one more. We'll run this way out. Like that. And then we'll get one going off. Nope. That. There, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, so these two I will connect like this, then we'll get rid of that and that. Make that the main there. So that's our main line. We're going to come all the way through here to the main. Right around here like this. Come back off of the main. Here. And keep going this way and run into one of these tracks. Or all of these tracks need to run together for... I'll run this out a little ways. I don't know how far. I'm going to run them out before I get together, but probably up to a good ways before this one gets together. Unless I can, I'll just take this and kind of make some turns. What does that look like? Too far maybe? Let's put this track up here and see what. Right about there. And if we bring this one up. About there. And then what if we do this? How's that? That will work if we do this. A little curve to it, but it'll be just fine. Going into the main, back into the main. So that, 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 that. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Get rid of some of these trees so we can see what's going on. Alright, we'll leave the rest of them because we'll get rid of them later. We got to build these tracks in the center. I don't want to mess with that. I just want to tie all these in real quick and then we'll call it an episode, guys. But I don't need, so get rid of that and that because we don't need them now. And we'll put our signs in later that tell us that this is the main and that those are sidings. So how far do I need to start going that way? So let's do, nope. Yep, that's what I want. Now, if I take this. I'm trying to run it all the way over here and make it look halfway decent, or is it going to look messed up? Let's go to re-rail. Let's go up here and see what this looks like. That's an awful sharp turn. Yep. I don't like that at all. Let's get rid of that. Let's keep turning. I don't want that one. I want to keep on turning. I wonder what this one, that one, probably not going to look right either. Let's try it with this one. Bouncing off the trees. Now what will look like. That's an awful soft turn. I can live with that. I believe I can live with that. Believe I can live with that. Live with that. I can live with that. So these I can get rid of that one and that one. This here. Yeah, so if they're even just slightly close to the line, I like to take them out. Probably take those out, but that's alright. So now we're turning, we're going back toward the oil field, which is what we wanted. And we may turn that into a double line. And one last look at our thing. There we go, guys. So that's the start. That's our freight depot, meat packing plant, and the railway express station, and our starter place. So that's where we're going to leave it today, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, best way to support this channel is to subscribe, like, and share the videos. I, in the future, will be adding links to Cash App, Venmo, stuff like that. So if you want to support that way, you can. It's not necessary though, guys. I enjoy making the videos, and I'll always make them. But it does help out the channel. It helps me continue to do this. Like I say, right now I'm working, and more working. And if I can get away from working so much by doing something I like to do, like playing games and sharing time with you guys, then I would rather do that. But like I say, not necessary, but the easiest way and the best way to help out is to subscribe, like, and share the videos. Help my videos get out to a bigger audience, and that's what we need to do anyway. So, like I said, I see you guys next time. We'll pick up right here. I may do a little bit of work off camera, getting rid of some of these trees and stuff. But we'll pick up right here, and we'll continue to run the track to the sawmill and then to the logging camp. Or if I happen to see some comments where you guys would prefer just laying track around the industries and you don't want to see me running all this track to them industries, or if you would just prefer that you want to see me just run trains, I'll leave that up to you guys. You can let me know in the comment section. By all means, do comment. I like to hear what you guys think, and leave some comments in there on how we should place these industries. And if you like the way I have it laid out so far, what I've laid out I want to do so far, if you can think of a different way to do it, or a better way to do it, I may take a poll on that or something. But yeah, by all means, leave a comment in the comment section, guys. So guys, have a good evening. It's late here. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna leave you guys with it here. And I'd say thanks for watching, guys. God bless, stay safe, and be kind to each other. Thanks for watching.